Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We're back on the grind on Monday, start of the week, so hopefully you guys are having a good start to the week. And in this video, I just want to go over some more Gnut content. Basically, Gnut has just transformed my account on another area as well. So I would want to show you guys my Iron Twins team with Gnut. Yeah, I'm one of the poor saps that actually don't have this guy. I don't have Geomancer on this account. He's one of the few epics I don't have in this game. He's been out for like, I don't know, 2 years, but I don't have him. If you guys have Geomancer, then Iron Twins is kind of like nothing content for you. But since I didn't have him, Iron Twins is actually a bit of it's a slow grind. It's not a struggle or anything, but it's a slow grind. But yeah, in this video I want to go over my team, and I want to go over some tips that you guys probably maybe use, maybe you don't, and maybe I can help you guys out build your own team if you guys are interested. So we'll get right into that. All right, so we're back here. So this is just a recording, but we'll go over it here. So this is the team I use. Use Hellcath for the block damage, and then I use 3 Painkeepers. Their level is totally irrelevant. So you can see here I got like a fresh Painkeeper right out of a pack. I got 2 of them, and then I have a level 50, which is like one of the first champions I've made way back in the day. I have Gnut and then Hellcath. So we can go over this run, and then I can tell you guys a bit more detail about it. So here, my original team actually used Cold Heart instead of Gnut. So in that team, it was like, I don't know, it was like a 4-minute run, just not very good. So here are the AI presets. Hellcath, opening with the shield and then the block damage, second priority. Gnut, just remove the A2. You want him to be smashing. And then Painkeeper, these are the presets. Make sure you get them right relative to the speed that I'm using. So there's many different speeds combinations that can work. I'll show you another speed combination that's much more like easy accessible, and I'll give you guys the reasons why I use the speeds that I currently use. So basically for Hellcath, I have him at 291 because I have him fast, so I can use him in other content in the game, mainly for live arena. I keep him fast. So you see there, Gnut using his A3 to basically chunk off the Iron Twins. He takes reduced damage on every hit, but it's still quite a bit of damage. And then you'll see the just a couple little baby hits, and then they'll start resetting his A3, and then he'll get it back. But this team perfectly, fully unkillable. Not unkillable, but it blocks all the damage. You see his damage there. His first hit is full, his second hit is half of that, and then his third hit is half of that. So he gives, you know, he doesn't give like the full 30%, but he does pretty good. Cold Heart can only hit for 10%, so he's obviously a big upgrade over Cold Heart, which I was using previously. Other max HP champions you could be using is like Armiger, Septimus. They all work, but of course against Affinity it's going to be kind of bad too. So Cold Heart's kind of better versus Affinity. She's always 10%. In terms of speed ranges, there's actually a wide range. There's actually a wide range of speeds that you could have for this whole team. Like I said, I'll show you guys a slower version of it. For the DPS spot in Gnut spot, my Gnut here is almost 260 speed, but the DPS spot, the range can be quite high, and I'll show you guys how to narrow it down for your desired build. So the reason why this Gnut works perfectly here is because he's in the same build for all content that I use him for, and it's awesome. And I don't have to change his build at all, so super good. And it definitely speeds up my run. Like I said, with Cold Heart it was like a 4-minute run. Geomancer is roughly 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe even 2 minutes, but he's about as fast as Geomancer here. You can see. Don't use Relentless, obviously. Don't use Relentless on your Gnut against Iron Twins, because he'll shake off he'll outrun his buffs basically. So you see here 213, which is a record for me. And I'm pretty sure this would keep up with most Geomancer teams. So I'm really happy to have Gnut in this team. I mean, yeah, nothing to really complain about. If Hellcat has accuracy, he can land Weaken, which would probably speed up the run. If your champions have War Master, it's not recommended to run War Master with Geomancer because the War Master procs will trigger the Iron Twins to cleanse off the HP debuff, which you don't want. But if you're doing a full damage build like this, having War Master actually would speed up this run quite a bit. So there's no problem in having War Master. But yeah, my Gnut is in Giant Slayer. So far no issues. I don't see any issues with this run at all. Yeah, and my Hellcath is I believe he has War Master. He might have War Master actually. Actually, I think we might see some War Master procs here. But yeah, you can see they're fully unkillable the whole time. So on the second run, hitting again. And yeah, perfectly good. And like I said, the reason why I use this slightly faster version is because I use Hellcat and other content. And also I want my DPS to be at a usable speed for other content as well. So the other combination that I will show you after this run uses much slower speeds, and it's kind of not useful enough speeds for the champions to be used in other content. So I chose to add more speed, and I'll show you guys the gear and all that stuff for this group right after this. So as you can clearly see, pretty consistent. See the big bashes going in. His first hit is full damage, second hit is half damage, and then his third hit is half of that half damage. There we go. I guess maybe if you turn on the A2 for Gnut, maybe it's better. I'm not sure if his A2 is stronger than 3 hits from his A1. Might be close. But at least the A2 might... actually, no. There's not enough accuracy that you can place the Weaken, because against the Iron Twins you need quite a bit of accuracy. I believe like 600 accuracy. So no point going for debuffs. You just want the hardest hit. So this one's slightly longer, probably War Master procs or whatever. There we go. Yep, consistent. So 213 to 230, very good. I'm very happy with this, considering that my Cold Heart team was, like I said, 4 minutes. So here's my Gnut build. Basically just broken set. He's 258 speed and just about 280 crit damage. Refresh is fine. So that means he gets more A3s. That's fine, but like I said, no relentless, guys. Masteries, Giant Slayer. You can take defense tree as well. So here's my Hellcat. So this is what I mean when I use him for other content. He's 291 speed, which works. I believe the lowest speed you can put for Hellcat in this build with this exact same team is 281. So his range can be quite high. I believe it's like 281 to like 297 or something. It can be quite high. So I have him at 291, which works for other content. He's in Stone Skin. He does have War Master on, so it does speed up the run a little bit. Unnecessary, totally unnecessary. So here's my pain keepers. Like I said, like two of them are fresh from a shard, and basically just put gear on them. So make sure they're at the appropriate speed. They don't really need any other stat, so just put garbage gear on them. As you can clearly see, I got some pretty junky garbage sets on them. This one doesn't even have any gear, basically just enough to hit the speeds. Make sure this is fully booked. The A3, very important. Hellcat also needs to be fully booked. Sorry guys, the unkillable needs to be fully booked. Sorry, the block damage needs to be fully booked. Sorry. Painkeeper, no masteries, and look at this guy, only 4 pieces of gear. Has to be A3 fully booked, and 0 masteries. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to go over how you guys can build your own team, because you don't have to follow the exact same speed, right? So let's pull that up for you guys. So here we go. So this is the Iron Twins calculator from ENG.com. So ENG is like he done some stuff on some cool stuff on like Clan Boss, and he has a pretty cool website. I believe he's Portuguese. So his site is in Portuguese first, but has English translations. He does do takeovers and all that stuff. So he's a very dedicated Raid Shadow Legends player. So definitely check out his website. It requires you to use a Google login, so there's a little bit of that. But other than that, you don't really have to sign up for anything. It's free tool. So basically, you input your champions here. You input the speeds, and then any kind of special commands, delays, or whatever. So the team I want to show you guys with much more accessible speeds. So here it is. You guys can see this team is much more accessible. You have 257 Helicath, 182 DPS, 215 1 Painkeeper, 182 1 Painkeeper, and a 160 Painkeeper. So the way this works is the only command setup is you put a 1 turn delay on the A3 on the 182 Painkeeper. Okay, so when you guys are setting up the AI on the 182 Painkeeper, just have him open with the A1 and then priority A3. So that way you have the resets happening on 2 of them, and then the resets will happen on the 3rd one afterwards. So it's pretty interesting, but this is much more accessible speeds if you guys don't want to have a 281 Helicath, for example. But it does make your DPS very slow, 182, so you might not have a very useful DPS afterwards. And yeah, any DPS can work for Geomancer, but Geomancer is insanely strong. You could use, like I said, any max HP. Armiger works even. And yeah, so basically with this calculator, it's similar to the Clan Boss calculator. You put in the champions, you put in the speeds, you put in any of this lore, steel, perception, speed sets, just to make sure that you get the decimal points properly. And then you set up the skill priorities. And then you want to make sure that here, basically this is the turn order. You want to make sure that it says you are unkillable, you are unkillable, you are unkillable at the end of every turn. So this kind of makes sure that your first 12 turns are good. So here you can set it to 50 turns if you want, but generally after like 12 turns, if it's in sync, then you're probably good to go. So here, if you want to check like a range, so I lowered it by 1, it's still unkillable, lowered by 1, 1, 1. So you can see like the range can be quite high. So I'm just lowering the speeds on this second Painkeeper, so it's 205. It started at 215. And yeah, so that's what you're kind of looking for. If you have like a damage dealer that's, let's say, you know, higher speed. So you're going to change your Geomancer. Yeah, so your speed can be higher. Oh, this is where it broke. It broke at 193. So your DPS cannot be higher than 193 in this build setup. So like I said, this is a more like budget friendly setup. Like the one that I'm using on my account is using a 291 Helicath, like this Helicath, and a much faster DPS. But I'm just trying to show you guys how you guys can kind of customize your own team with this calculator by kind of fiddling around with the numbers yourself, and then you guys can determine what works and what doesn't work without spending energy to test it out. So yeah, anyways, this is kind of like a nut showcase for my account. Like I said, it really did help my account. Like I said, I was using Cohort previously, and it was about a 4 minute plus run. So now I have Nut on this team, and now the time is almost cut in half. So this guy is just massive, and he was basically just a plug and play. Like took my Cohort out, put him in, and the team works perfectly. Saved 2 minutes. So pretty sweet. I can't really complain. But anyways, hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are running. If you guys run him, I don't know, maybe you guys don't. I think this team is very easy to make team. You guys can have 3 Painkeepers, none of them leveled, no masteries, no nothing. They do need books, but they're rare, so it's pretty pretty chill. Helicat can be replaced with Roshguard or Alsgore, but I believe Alsgore requires to be unascended. I believe he has some turn meter in his kit that might mess up this tune, so be careful with Alsgore. And I'm sure with the new fusion, Emic Trunk Heart could also, actually no, he can't, he doesn't have block damage, he has unkillable, sorry, scratch that. But anyone with block damage can pull off this kind of team. Hopefully you guys have them. Makes Iron Twins a lot more bearable. But yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.